Okay, okay. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for coming to be with us and take some time out of your evening. Or if you're listening to the recording, thank you for taking the time for that too. I'm excited to have you here tonight, to welcome you to this call, to meet some of our team. And I just want to start off by introducing myself. My name is Kelly Brown. I'm a two-star diamond coach, and I've been coaching with Beachbody for 7 years. And I founded our team called the Freedom Family, which is basically this huge family tree with lots of amazing branches of other teams that are being represented here tonight by the coaches who are going to share some of the things that have touched their lives through coaching, as well as answer some common questions that people have about this opportunity. So before we get started, I want to share a little bit about my story and talk a little bit about Beachbody as a company that we partner with in our business. 7 years ago, when I started, I was a mom of 5. I now have 8 babies, 7 here on earth, 1 in heaven looking down. So our family has definitely multiplied. We probably are the fastest growing team in Beachbody if you look at birth rate. To be honest, we have a lot of beautiful babies born every year, which I love. But 7 years ago, when I had my 5th, he was about 10 months old, and I was really struggling. I felt lost and alone. I was very uncomfortable with my skin. I was really struggling to not only lose the baby weight, but with just eating overall. My emotional eating had gotten very out of control. My husband worked for a nonprofit and did a lot of ministry work on the side and was gone a lot. And I felt like the stress of having all the kids at home, even though I had play dates and things, I just felt alone because I didn't like myself. I didn't like how I showed up as a mom. I didn't like how I felt as a wife. I didn't like what I saw in the mirror. And my go-to growing up was just to fix your body, and then everything else you just handled. But for some reason, after number 5, I lost a sense of control and I lost a sense of hope. And so in all of that, my coach was sharing her journey on social media, and she was a mom of 5. And I saw this woman with 5 children who was finding time to exercise at home, not dieting crazy ways, and getting really good results. And I was super interested in what she was doing because I wanted something different. So I reached out to her. She mentioned the program she was doing was called Insanity. So I went on Amazon and ordered it. I didn't know that I could buy it from her. And so as Christmas gift to my husband and I, we went on and did the purchase for 3 payments program where you got the box of DVDs. The program came in that January. We unwrapped it, did our first workout, the fit test, and I threw up. It was really hard. It was so challenging. And all I knew was, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is what works. And I did the entire program. And at the end of the program, I thought I failed. I never took measurements. I never took photos. I never really judged the scale. I didn't track anything. And the way I saw myself in the mirror was such a negative space that I called her and said, it didn't work. And y'all, I know for a fact, if I had a photo back then, I'm sure that I had some results, but I just didn't take them. That's how uncomfortable I was. So she mentioned something called Shakeology, which I immediately said no to because we lived on a shoestring budget and I didn't want to drink something that I thought at the time was like Slim Fast. But I was still watching. I watched her journey because I saw she had something different than I had, and I wanted to have that joy and I wanted to have a solution. So finally, in May, so this is almost 6, 7, 8 months after the first time I started following her, I reached out and said, okay, I'm going to try this Shakeology. It's worth a shot. So I tried it for 10 days in a challenge. I lost 3.5 pounds. I got tapped into a community where I felt like I was seen. And all I knew after that 10 days is I would do whatever it took to afford this product, to stay in these groups, and to be a part of this community, which for me meant signing up as a coach to save 25%. That was the only reason I signed up. I had no desire to build a business. I was nervous about people. I didn't want to be seen as this icky MLM, all of these self-conscious things. And so I signed up, did my first challenge group. It was a 90-day challenge. And as I finished that challenge and I lost the rest of my baby weight, tons of inches, I took a after photo. What I noticed was I looked in the mirror for the first time literally in my life, and I was proud of myself and I was pleased with my body. And when my husband would compliment me, the thought came through my head, maybe he means that. Maybe he's not just being nice. And I had these 2 daughters, and I looked at them and I didn't want them to feel like I felt when they were adult kids, And so at that point, 90 days into being a discount coach, I decided to dig into the business side. I wanted to help a few women feel like I did. I didn't want to build a big business, but I didn't also want to keep this to myself. And so I started to slowly, gradually build the business. First as a hobby, doing a little bit here and a little bit there, then with a little more intentionality, part-time. And in the last year since first signing up, now it's a full-time business for me that I work from home, but with part-time hours. It is work, but it's purpose-driven work. And it's rooted in, for our team, faith and a belief that our bodies are a gift and we're not meant to hate them and we're not meant to mistreat them. And the more you can love and honor your temple, your body, the more you can love and honor your husband, your children, your job, the more you can love your neighbor, which in our world nowadays, guys, we need that. And so the Freedom Family has a mission. Our mission is we embrace freedom in our own journey by working out and being a product of the product and growing. We share the truth of our testimony by sharing on social media, talking to people, hearing their stories, just being a good listener. And then we inspire hope in others to take action by reaching out our hand and helping them learn to embrace freedom in their own journey. And so tonight, you're here because, or if you're listening to the recording, because whoever talks to you sees something in you and they want you to be a part of this mission. We partner with the company Beachbody. I'm just going to give you a little bit of the details about the company. So Beachbody was founded in 1998 by Carl Deichler and John Condon, and the core purpose was to help people achieve goals and enjoy a healthy, fulfilling life. That's the mission statement of Beachbody. Through infomercials, they were able to give everyone equal access to a variety of world-class, proven, no-nonsense, in-home DVD fitness programs. I still have a bunch of the DVDs, which is hilarious because now everything's digital. Carl and John set the company apart from any other by taking a risk and creating programs that required hard work and commitment. There wasn't any magic potions or quick fix schemes. If you've ever done a program like P90X or anything from Tony Horton or like Insanity, or you know someone who has, you know it requires commitment and work. And what they noticed was that these online message boards, people were doing the programs and they were encouraging each other. And they were like cheering each other on and helping each other with their goals, providing support and motivation, and inviting other people to try the program. And this is before like the coach network was there. And they saw there was this opportunity to reward people for their organic sharing of programs. And so they invited them to become founding coaches of Team Beachbody, which is the coach network that officially launched in 2007. Our founding coach, the top of our team, her name is Tracy Morrow. She is actually partners with John C. Maxwell, who's a leadership expert, and she travels with him. She's like the MC of all of his calls. She has passed a legacy down all the way down, because we're way far down her tree, of just that rooted service leadership that's really about connecting to the person. And that is why partnering with Beachbody is such a gift, because they provide the tools for us. And then we get to develop the mission, which we feel we're called to do through this business. So tonight, I'm going to have two of the women on my team share a little of their story, and then also share their answer to common questions, just to kind of give you some peace of mind, or maybe clarify some things you were confused about or wondered about. And then at the end, I will talk a little bit about options for getting started and how all of that works. So we're going to start with Angie Bradley. If you can unmute. Oh, do I have to unmute you?
No, I couldn't find my mouse. Sorry.
That's okay. Can you take a little moment and introduce yourself and tell us how you got started?
Sure. I am a homeschooling mom of 9. I have kids that range in age from 24 down to 5. She just turned 5, so my baby's 5. I got started when I was actually expecting number 5. I was about 8 months pregnant, which is not really the time for transformations or lots of people getting very engaged in my fitness and stuff, because, well, I was huge at the time. But I really liked fitness, and I really liked, I liked working out, but I would fall off. I wanted to be consistent, but I wasn't consistent. So I loved working out. My son, who just walked through the door right there, had purchased Insanity off of eBay. Off of eBay. We had other stuff. We had Asylum. We had a bunch of other really hard programs, and those are what I was trying to do. I knew that the fitness programs worked, but I never did one from beginning to end. I never stuck with it. I would do what I could do, and then I would kind of just stop for a couple weeks or a couple months or 6 months, and then I would come back. And so it was never something that I thought I could be consistent with. When I saw my coach posting on social media, she looked very consistent, and that was something that kind of drew me to her, was her ability to post her workouts and be consistent every day. And I know people say, I don't like to see people's workout photos, but you know what? It was inspiring for me to be able to see someone show up every day with all those kids and get it done no matter what. So if you see my stuff on social media, that's what you're going to see a lot of times, is because I want people to see that, yeah, you can have 9 kids and you can still do your workout and take care of yourself. And so I felt kind of called to both join her, but also pay that forward to other people, because I so wanted people to take care of themselves. I come from a counseling background, and I loved helping people find the time to take care of themselves emotionally, physically, spiritually, all that stuff. But I couldn't join them in that, in a counselor's, in that job. But with this, I can invite people to join me, and they can work with me, and I can be much more hands-on in their lives, and I can try to walk with them a little bit more closely than I could even as a counselor. So it's really kind of fit into all of the parts, that all the grooves in my life that I really liked.
That's awesome. So a common question people talk about is, but I'm still on my journey. And you even spoke a little bit about this, since you were saying how you joined when you were expecting. Can you talk a little bit about the importance of how coaches are always on their journey, and if someone's maybe just starting or in the middle, how they can still work this business?
Oh, sure. When I started, I actually kind of thought there was an end point. Like when I started, I was like, okay, so I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to get to the end, and then I'm going to have people join me. I'm going to get to I'm going to be like Barbie. I don't know. That's kind of what I thought was going to happen. Clearly, that's not the case. I don't look like Barbie, but that's all right. What I found is that every success brings a new challenge, and every new challenge, it doesn't matter where we are in our journey. It doesn't matter if we are running marathons or we've never walked around the block. Every time you go forward, it's a triumph. And being able to recognize that as a coach and show that to other people and show them how they're succeeding, but also be on your own journey the whole time at the same time. Like just in the last couple of weeks, I had an injury and I couldn't run. It was very frustrating. So I had to look for different successes that I wasn't used to looking for, because I had to kind of make up, I had to find the good in where I was. And that's what we have to do as coaches. And that's what we have to do with our challengers. And it's inspirational to be able to look at whatever I'm doing and go, oh, this is just one more step, and it's never going to be over. This is not, there's no end game here. There is just constant progress, baby steps forward every day, with the hope that when we're 100, we're still going to be making baby steps forward. There's no end here.
Yes, I love that. And I love how you're talking about how we walk with others in that. So you don't have, if you were to come to Angie, if you were her challenger and had an issue, she could most likely help you with it because she's navigated herself, or she might even be navigating it with you, or me too. It's not because we're experts. We're more just people a few steps ahead sometimes who can give you a little guidance of what's helped.
And if I can't help you with something, or if you can't help your challenger with something, someone on the team can. We are a team and we work together. And so while I might not be having any more kids, even though I'd love to, I could find somebody who might be able to walk with you a little more closely if you're having a problem with pregnancy and I've forgotten what that's like, which who knows, maybe I'd forget that. I don't know. But if somebody is in that spot, then they could, sympathize with them a little more, or find those parts that they can help them with and find the good. So Maybe Megan would be able to do that. And I can call her and say, you know, I forgot what this is like at month 6. What was that like for you? Because I have somebody who's having a really hard time. So we work together as a team. So I don't have to know all the answers. I just have to know how to find the answers.
Yeah, no, I love that. That's so true. So another thing that's often mentioned is, you know, the time commitment. And not only does Angie have 9 kiddos, she homeschools. And so can you talk a little bit about, you know, working to build the business and sort of what our work time looks like kind of share a little bit of the recipe?
Sure. So I had to, when I decided that I wanted to do this as a kind of part-time job, I had to be very intentional with the time that I was going to spend. I don't have a lot of time during my day, and it would be very easy for me to say, I just don't have time to do that. But in all honesty, it does not take that long. It just takes commitment to do it every day. So when I sit down, I sat down with my husband. We planned out my goals and my hours so that he knows, so we're on the same page. So I sit down in the evenings from like maybe for an hour, hour and a half, of 4 to 5 nights a week, depending on what the kids' schedules and everything looks like. And during that time, I will talk to a couple of people. So I just reach out and I just ask them how they're doing. I connect with people that I'm friends with, that are already my Facebook or Instagram followers or friends, people that I'm already talking to. And I just start a conversation with them. I'm not looking to sell them something. I'm looking to just start a conversation and see how they're doing. They're friends. And part of my job is to be a friend. And that's actually one of my favorite parts, is I feel like this job has given me intention to keep up those connections with all those people that have been important in my life at different times. So I keep connecting with those people. And by doing that, I'm keeping the door open so that if they do have a issue or they do want to join me, I've already opened the door for a conversation. So I usually connect with 2 to 5 people a day. It's not a big deal. It's not hard. It's happy birthday. It's happy anniversary. It's those family pictures are beautiful. Nothing super deep. I try to find a couple new friends, a couple new people that I don't know, keep expanding my connections, and then I invite a couple people to join me. It's not hard. I thought it was really hard at the beginning. I made a really big deal out of it. I didn't want to be salesy. I really wanted to be genuine. But you know what? I love these products. I love what they've done for my family. I love the way my family has changed because of it and the way my life has changed. And so it's not hard anymore for me to share this because I can see the value that it's brought to my life and to my family. And so it's not a big deal. I see that you've been following me or you've commented on a couple posts. Have you thought about joining me? They can say no. That's up to them. I'm not going to hate them if they tell me they don't want to join me. That's totally that's on them. It's my job just to invite them and say, how are you doing? Would you like to join me? And I do it in about an hour and then I'm done.
Yeah, no, that's good. And with Angie, she's been coaching for a while. So like a newer coach, it might take a little more time at first to get used to what we call like an action hour or a power hour. But really, when you get it down to understanding what you're doing, a lot of my coaches who work like very part-time do like a 30-minute session for their business, and then maybe take 15 minutes to just check into their challenge group, because we're always working on our own journey no matter what. So, but as you can see, like she was saying, I love how you talked about how you sat down with Bruce and you guys planned it out together too. Like this is a conversation you have with your spouse because it's something that you're doing for your family and for yourself, you know? And so like it's saying here, my husband and I kind of talk, I work during the day because I have one child at home and 6 that are in school. But I have a couple evenings a week that he does his schoolwork because he's a principal, and I do my work. And, you know, as you grow your business, you do spend a little more time, but that's depending on your goals. And I actually have an assistant that helps me so that I don't have to spend more time, so I could outsource some of the things. So don't let that be like, talk about the time you want to spend with your coach that's invited you, because they can help show you like how to make that work.
For me, I almost see it as like, it's a mission for me. Like making time for it is not hard because I see it as a gift that I can give to other people. And so for me, it's not like, oh, I got to go to work. I mean, yeah, it is still work. And there are days where I would rather go take a nap or watch TV or whatever. But it's a mission. It's a calling to be able to share this with other people to change their lives. And to know that makes it easy to go sit down during the day.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate you. All right, Miss Megan, you're up. Hey. So can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about how you got started?
Yes, I am Megan. I am a wife of 5 years, a mom to 3 boys, a 4-year-old, 2-year-old, and 6-month-old. So it's busy up in here. And live in South Carolina where it's just starting to tempt us to be fall. Anyways, I got started a little over 3 years ago. I was looking for a job to stay home with my first baby. I had never had a job since I graduated that I wanted to go to. And so when I became a mom, it was important to me that I stayed home with my baby, and it was okay if there was a budget cut, but we could not make ends meet if I did not work. So I had a job lined up to transition from the office to at home, and that was slipped out under me at the day I was supposed to start my at-home job. It was very sketchy and awful and very stressful for us. We had just bought a house, obviously just had our first baby, like I said, and so it was just not a good time. So I scrambled and I nannied, which was great, but my baby was getting older, and I also taught online, which was like getting pennies thrown at me for a lot of output, and it was not good. I did not enjoy it at all. Anyway, so I was working a lot, but not really giving a lot to my family. And I knew that was not the life that I wanted as a stay-at-home mom or being around my kids. I didn't want to be, I really loved the family that I nannied for. That was great. But they were older kids, and my kid was growing up, and I wanted another baby. And that situation was not a forever solution. And so I had also, in the same time, been struggling with my healthy habits as a mom. I have a history of an eating disorder, and I had overcome that, but healing, every human knows this. They all come back, right? Like our insecurities, we experience them in different ways as our seasons change and our life happens. And so it was just hard to have gained so much weight and to be navigating first-time motherhood and understand what it meant to lose weight and take care of my body in a healthy way, that I wanted to be a good example to my children. So that was in the back of my head. I had started doing a little bit to take care of myself, eating a little healthier, exercising, and I really had a heart to share not only my story of overcoming an eating disorder, but also just like the figuring it out as a mom. And so the two worlds collided when I had this need for a job, and I was kind of on this journey and had a heart to share it. I reached out to my coach, who was sharing her journey, and I think at the time she was pregnant, she was postpartum with her first baby, and just looked amazing, and was sharing her journey so genuinely and authentically. But I reached out to her not specifically to do what she was doing. I actually was just asking her, what is it like to own your own business and be a stay-at-home mom? Because all I knew was this like teaching job that took a lot of my attention, and it was hard. And so she invited me to a call like this, and I learned that this was an opportunity for me not only to make money, but for me to share my story and to not only just share what I was doing, but actually equip people with ways that they could change their lives. And so after I heard that webinar, and I also heard people's stories of people's lives changing for the better and overcoming things like eating disorders, and I was like sold. So that's how I got started.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So Angie touched a little bit about this with the whole fear of sales, and there's kind of a whole component where, fear of sales, fear of rejection, fear of not knowing all the answers. Can you speak a little bit about your experience of how you navigate all of that?
Yes, I have a fear of being rejected. I have a fear of being alone, and I don't think I'm alone in that fear. But what keeps me a coach and what made me sign up is kind of what Kelly said, like when she talked about how Beachbody started using coaches, is people were doing it anyways. And a friend of mine was sharing kind of like the history of sales, and before we had media and marketing and whatnot, if you needed milk, you called up your friend who was the milkman. If you needed eggs, your friend who had chickens, you'd go get the eggs from them. And so it's the modern day that now, if you need a really good mascara, you'll go to my friend who can help you get really good mascara. If you need help in your health and wellness, you can come to me, and you can, do what you need to do to live your best life and take care of yourself. It's really not as weird as I think it sometimes is made out to be. It's actually a very natural thing that we do as people, as a community, as, people who want to be together and things. So when I do reach out to people, sometimes that does come across my mind, like, what will they think? But what will happen if I do offer what they need, right? Like, I needed this. So many other people needed this. When I was in college and overcoming an eating disorder, I needed my friends, and I needed this to help me not retract back into an eating disorder, and that's a really extreme example, but I help so many moms right now who are in that place that I was. And if I didn't say yes to this and I didn't reach out to them and offer them this product that they have to purchase and pay for, then their lives wouldn't be changing so beneficially in the ways that it is. And I even got a message today from two of the mamas that I help about how much their lives are changing and how simple it is for them to make these changes. Because I say simple because it is hard. We all know habits are hard to make, changes are hard to make, but we don't offer fads. We don't offer crazy. You don't have to do insanity. You know what I mean? And your life can still be blessed. You can still lose the weight that you need to be a healthier person, or to just boost in that confidence. And one of the things that I also emphasize when I invite somebody is, yes, you're going to purchase these products, and these are going to be your tools that are going to, be the steps you're going to take to making those changes in your physical body. But I'm going to be with you, and I'm going to walk with you. And one of our upline mentors shared this the other day in one of our training calls, is saying, when you fall, I will be there. Because y'all, just because you sign up and maybe you're a challenger and maybe you know this, it's not, we don't offer a quick fix. We don't offer a flawless, perfect system. We offer solution to help you, and a friendship and a mentorship to help you navigate when seasons change and it gets confusing, or when what you're doing isn't working anymore. So we need to figure out what will. So yeah, it is a sale. there is a transaction, but it's so much more than that.
Yeah, definitely so. And like she was sharing a little bit about how we have training calls weekly that offer just help and support with learning how to find your voice when it comes to inviting people too. So it doesn't have to feel scripty or fake. Because I know that was a worry that I had too. So the last question I want to ask is about money. Like you had talked about, we do sell things. There is a purchase involved. This is a business. So can you talk briefly about just how we earn income? And if anyone wants like a more in-depth like information, we actually have a whole compensation plan, like overview document that we can share with you that like breaks it all down. But can you briefly speak, Megan, to how we earn an income?
Yes. So you make, very basic, you make 25% commission off of the products that your customers purchase from you. That is like the most basic, some things give or take. You can learn more about that in that video. And then when you build a team under you, you basically, you're going to make bonuses off of the work that they're doing. They get paid the commission just like you would when you make a sale. So you're not sharing in their commission or anything like that. They're making the money off of what their actions are doing. You just get a reward for them helping reach other people. So it's a totally separate payment. And so there's helping customers, getting commission off of that, and then team bonuses, cycle bonuses is what they're called, but that you get off of building a team and helping other people reach other people.
Awesome. And a common thing that gets asked a lot, so I'll just say it now, is this a pyramid scheme? Because it's shaped like a pyramid. You have a person up here and then a person here and a person here. So it's a good question because, I mean, it looks like a pyramid. But just to quickly answer how Megan was explaining, in a pyramid scheme, a few things happen. If there's no exchange of goods, where the person at top makes all the money, it's completely illegal. And Beachbody is actually backed by the Better Business Bureau, which is awesome. But also how she explained how our bonuses, when you build a team that come are separated, I'm not taking anything from what others are earning. And then the beauty in this business is my coaches under me can pass me up. Like I'm not holding them back. So say I want to work and grow a part-time income, but I have a coach that comes in and they're in it to make 6 figures and really make it a full-time gig. They can go for it and I'm not going to hold them back and I'm not capping them out or taking from. So I really like how the compensation plan is. I'm not a big numbers person, to be honest, because numbers scare me. But from what I've learned, what I love about Beachbody's compensation plan is that the bonuses and things all come through work and mentoring and working together, and your income truly is a reflection of how many people you help. So a lot of other companies, and they share other things like cars and incentives and stuff like that. Beachbody is more about offering incentives and just cash. I mean, they give prizes and things, but it's not that same kind of compensation plan. And like I said, we can share like a whole document on it. But I love how you ladies shared tonight. And I just want to share a couple things as we close out about what they've shared and how it applies to like your options of getting started. So if you heard, like all 3 of us have had very different approaches. You know, I started off as what we call like a discount coach or a community builder. I just wanted to save money on my product. We kind of use this football analogy, like a football stand analogy, but like the people in the stands or the fans, the raving fans for the team matter. Now this is hilarious because I'm not even a sports person, but I'm going to use this analogy. As a discount coach or community builder, that's like a raving fan. It's someone who loves the products. You're excited to use them. You're with other people. You're pumped up and energetic. You're a part of the community. And as a thank you and as a reward, you can become a coach, save 25%. You don't have any obligation to sell anything. There's no quota you have to meet. And as a perk of being a coach on the team, you also get access to our coaches team page, to trainings, to retreats, to live events like the Coach Summit, where we all get together and train with the super trainers. And so that's kind of an entry level, like where I started. But then you have coaches who come in and they want to build and to do maybe at first a little, like, and that is where we consider that kind of a hobby coach, someone who doesn't necessarily want a power hour every single day, but you'd like to like help a few people and cover your costs. You're not paying for your Shakeology every month because you're making enough commission or make enough money maybe to hire a babysitter to have a date night once a week or once a month. And so when you sign up, you just communicate to your coach, like, that's kind of my goal. And then they help teach you what to do. And then we have coaches who want to be make a part-time income. You know, they want to help bring in extra money to cover the cost of some bills and help relieve some of the pressure all the way up to a full-time income. Because I mean, if you're like some of us with a lot of kids and there's a lot that they need. And as kids get older, things go up, I'm learning as I have 2 teenagers now. And so, you know, those goals, like mine, have shifted from discount coach to hobby coach to part-time to full-time coach over time. But you don't have to like sign up with Beachbody and say, this is the kind of coach I am. You decide, you commit to those goals, you get supported by your upline and the team, and then you get to take the action steps. And just like Megan said, you know, when you fall, I'll be there in a challenge group. Same thing in the business. If you're working towards a goal and you get stuck and you need help, that's why we're a team. And so you get to decide. It can change. I know for me, like I'm working full time. I do not work 40 hours a week though. I maybe work 15-ish to 20, most. And disclaimer, Beachbody doesn't guarantee any level of income without working really hard. You know, I can't promise you the star, the moon. But what I'm trying to say here is after having a baby, I would drop back and not work. In the month of August, we had a major crisis in our family. And I took 10 days off. And because of this business, I could travel to Louisiana and not work for 10 days. And our team leans in where I, you know, filled the gaps, and no one was there breathing down my neck telling me I had to come back to work now. You know what I mean? You get to decide. So I just wanted to explain that. So the way it works is you, if you bought a challenge pack, can sign up as a coach and your fee is waived. If you did not buy a challenge pack, you can buy one now as a coach, sign up, and your fee is waived. If you want to just pay the fee, you get to own your own business for $39.95, $40. You get to, that's it. My husband's been looking into franchises, like for different companies. Oh my goodness, the amount of money that you have to invest to build a franchise. And if you get to start your own business for $40, and that includes your business toolkit, Beachbody connects you with your online office. You get like an email with all these tools and things available to you. And then after that, you save 25% off your product, and you pay $15.95 a month to Beachbody to manage all of your custom orders. They do all shipping and returns. You do not have to stock any, like, I just blanked out. You don't have to stock any gear at your house. Like, everything is taken care of. They fix your websites. They provide training, all of that for $15.95 a month. And you get to decide, like I said, how often you want to work, if you want to work the business, the level of goals you have. But I also want to challenge you, if you're listening to this call or you're here tonight, don't cut yourself short. Like, let yourself be open to what a Holy Spirit can do in your journey and what that can do for someone else. Because if you listen to my story or Angie's or Megan's, or you even talk to the coach who invited you tonight, they were inspired to do more. And through that, they've grown. You know what I mean? So it is possible. And this could be an answer for you. And you were invited tonight because whoever invited you saw something in you, a gift in you. They want you to be a part of this mission. You know, and the most important thing is when you become a coach, you're still on your journey, you're still surrounded, but maybe you just want to level things up and then reach out and extend a hand of hope to someone else, which I find in our times people need more than ever, you know. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to your coach. They can provide the compensation plan. There's also a document that we have, it's called an overview, that kind of covers the main points we've talked to tonight that they can send you. But I look forward to welcoming new members this month and every month to our team. Know that we are excited that you came here tonight to lean in. Ladies, do you guys have anything you want to add before I pray us out? No? Okay. All right, I'm going to close this in prayer and then let you guys go. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this evening, God. I just pray in thanksgiving for the coaches on our team, for the challengers in our challenge groups, for the women and men that we get to serve every day in their journey. God, I pray for everyone who's here, those listening to the recording, that you would just open their minds to see this opportunity and to discern if you're calling them to it. I thank you in advance for those who will say yes and who feel called, that we get to walk with them. And God, I ask that you guide our steps every day to be a light, to spread your truth to others, to help others to embrace freedom in the life that they've been given, to find comfort in their skin, to find freedom in their relationship with food, to find growth and healing in their marriages and in their families. And I thank you, God, for calling me to be a part of this community. And I thank you for the company, Beachbody, that we get to partner with to do these things. We pray all these things in your most holy name. Amen. All right, you guys, have a good night. Take care.